got a nice ash coming along here. You saw that, huh? About a ½ inch just fell right off. Okay. Excuse me for scratching. Labor will do that to a man. Anyway, well, that was something. Glad I caught that on camera. See, that's something people might not show. They'll just be like, well, forget that happened. We were just talking the other day about how a really high quality cigar, good quality cigar, should be able to grow an ash up to about at least an inch, you know? Anyway, that's that. So, seems to be burning a bit fast. And it's not dry by any means. It's a very, very nicely stored cigar. It was in its cellophane. It was nice and squishy and spongy when I took it out. Didn't seem like it had any hollow spaces, but anyway, whatever. We'll enjoy it. The taste is very nice. I like the taste a lot. So we're into the, starting to get into the second third. And the cigar has smoothed out very nicely. I'm getting a lot of cocoa-y and dark chocolate type flavors. And the aroma even is just like woody and sweet, like this chocolatey sweet. I think you might want to try this one, Nick. These are not very expensive. They're affordable. A box of these No.4s. I only went on one website to see what they were asking. It looked like a decent site. I forget the name. It was about 145, 150 bucks for a box of 25. So it's not an overly expensive cigar. But it is burning kind of fast. It might be a little underfilled. And it's a very flaky ash that really doesn't hold as far as, you know, I don't know. That might be a construction thing. I don't think it's filled extremely well. But it's of a nice shape. The wrapper is the main thing on this. Wrapper is beautiful, very toothy, leathery. Speaking of leathery, I am getting some leathery type notes along with the chocolate and the wood. And it's got plenty of salt for those of you salt lovers out there who like a really tasty, salty cigar. Almost a bit of a dullish type twang. Ooh, got a little bit of kind of like a weedy flavor. A bit of twanginess. Interesting. Look at that. See, it's very flaky. You're going to see at the end of the cigar. As careful as I am now, trying to, knock off a chunk of ash, I'm getting these just flaky stuff, man. I mean, it almost looks like, in a way, it almost looks a little like short filler. It's definitely not. I mean, I don't know. Weird. I got a mess here. So whenever, listen, anybody out there, this is a good place to post it because we talked a lot about it in this episode. Any terminology you are slightly confused about or don't really know what it means, or you look it up on Google if you do and you still don't really, post it here and I'll answer it. Or send me an email, whichever you're more comfortable with. I will answer your questions. I've been shooting back every email I get as fast as I can. It's got a pretty dry, not really wispy, it's got a little density to it, but it's a pretty dry smoke. I wouldn't call it creamy. I'm getting a really nice weedy kind of flavor right now. Like meal, like mealy, like almost like oatmeal, like oaty flavor, all in the mouth. Coupled with that nice, it's got a very nice chocolatey note. Very nice chocolatey note. I would say the base is fairly earthy and woody. Got a very nice burn. Very, very nice draw. So far this cigar is very enjoyable. A little bit of spice. Spice has died down a lot. I'm getting a little bit at the tip of the tongue here and there, but that's about it. Very good. Very good. Nice woody, oaty type flavor. A bit of pepper, a bit of leather, and a nice deep chocolatey note. And I wouldn't even call it dark anymore. It's really cocoa-y now. It's a very cocoa-y cigar. Very sweet, woody aroma. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. It's definitely burning fast. Definitely burning fast. At this rate, this cigar is probably going to be about, I don't know, could be 35 to 45 minutes smoke. If they're all like this, you know. That's why a lot of times, you know, I do a review. I'm doing one cigar a day. I'm not gonna sit here and smoke 4 of the same cigar to give you a really exact, you know. You hear what you like, you go out and smoke it yourself. You know, but if I think a cigar deserves another chance, you know, that something was wrong, I will definitely go back to it and review. I would even. There have been things I've done that I never published because of issues. You know, well, most of them have been due to bad lighting or bad, you know, camera work, and I just thought it was awful and I couldn't do it. But there were a few times that I was smoking a cigar and started reviewing it, and I realized, wow, you know what? This cigar is just really, really dry. The draw is awful. Something's wrong with the binder. I'm not going to rate a cigar and say, man, this cigar is an awful draw. It's fucking terrible. I spent my money on this. I'm throwing this out the fucking window. Something was wrong with it. Maybe somebody dropped it in the humidor before I bought it. So I would just can the whole thing and get another one and smoke it, and then usually it would be fine, you know. But so I give it another chance. But if I grab like 2 of them or 3 of them and they all have like plugs and issues, and then that becomes part of the problem of that manufactured selection. Anyway, we're about to start getting into the last third here. We're definitely past the halfway point. Let me smoke a little bit and I'll get back to you with a report. Whew. A little bit of strength there. And so far I have really enjoyed the cigar. As it gets hotter, it becomes spicier, it becomes woodier, almost a wood that reminds me of a burning fireplace type wood, like, you know, like I almost got that kind of, it brought me back. I was like, wow. Made me think of the Long Island, this bungalow summer house that I used to go to in Long Island. It just gave me a memory, but as soon as it hit me I was like, wow, and that's what it reminded me of. But as this cigar gets hotter, if you you know, knock off an ash and really give it a few good puffs and it heats up, you're going to get a lot more spice. It's going to get more leathery, and those coffee notes, those chocolatey notes, are now becoming more like a darker coffee, like maybe almost like a mochaccino kind of thing, because the sense of dark chocolate is still there, but you do have a lot of more deep coffee notes on the back of the palate. It's become fairly spicy and leathery, and that woody, that burning fireplace woody kind of smell, taste. Well, taste associated with that smell, but you know what I mean. It's so crazy sometimes. I mean, no, I have never stuck my tongue in a burning fireplace, but the overall, you know, a lot, your sense of taste has a lot to do with your sense of smell. Almost everything to do with. If you can't smell, you can hardly taste at all. You really can't taste. You know, so people used to ask me that, and they'd be like, you know, you're tasting this and that. I mean, have you ever really like licked a leather couch or something? Or no, of course not, man. Fucking jeez, why would I do that? And I wonder. Big clouds of smoke now. Big clouds. Ash is just extremely flaky, flimsy, flip-floppy. Just, I mean, even look, if the ash on a cigar is that big, usually, you know, especially if you're smoking it right, it would still be a little firm, you know. I mean, the thing just, you know, wow. It's just, you'll see. I do got some chunks in there, but there's a lot of flake. There's a lot of flake. But you know, hey, taste-wise, this is very suitable. This is more my profile than last night's cigar. You know, so, which brings me to another great point. Cuban cigars are not better than Nicaraguan cigars. Nicaraguan cigars are not better than Dominican cigars. No cigar is better than any other cigar until it's actually better. You can't generalize a statement like that and say Cuban cigars are better. I will say that the best cigars I've ever smoked, when they're good, have happened to be Cuban cigars. However, there are a lot of cigars, like, you know, that I would rather smoke on the domestic range from Nicaragua or, you know, Dominican Republic than certain Cuban cigars. Just because it's from Cuba doesn't mean it's necessarily better. There are a lot of bad Cuban cigars out there, my friend. Let me tell you, there are some bad ones. You know, some that you really shouldn't smoke when they're young. You know, and they'll develop and get great later on. But it's like that. And then there are some cigars that just don't age well, and there are some cigars that just never get good. They're just bad. You know, this cigar is giving me a little bit of agita. It picked up strength very quickly. It's been medium, almost mild at the beginning. You know, this is one of those cigars. It starts out pretty, you know, light chocolatey notes with, you know, everything's kind of light, and mild to medium, and then toward the end it becomes medium full. Like right now, it's definitely medium full, leaning toward the full side. So, you know, I say that cigars will never cease to surprise me. You know, every day I think I found a cigar that's better than every other cigar. A few weeks later, I find a cigar that's, wow, that's even better than that. I'm always smoking cigars that are better and better. And I think that something to do with that also has that the palate progresses, the desire of certain flavor changes. You know, when I was a kid, I used to like eat chocolate cake like I fucking love. Now that shit is way too sweet for me. You know, I'd rather have oatmeal cookies. You know, something that's a little, you know, like your taste changes. When I was a kid, I hated onions, couldn't swim. Now I'll fucking eat a raw onion in 5 seconds. I love it. You know, same peppers, hot stuff. The palate progresses. It progresses with age. It progresses with experience. You know, so you can think of it like that. But here's a prime example where you have a Cuban cigar, not only a Cuban cigar, but an edition limitada, no less. Trinidad, a very prestigious high-end brand, that I would rather have a box of these. That's just me, but I would rather have a box of these. This tasted like a better cigar. Flavor is everything. Flavor is 90% of the game. You know, your construction, your burn, your body, you either have a good burn, a bad burn. Good construction, bad construction. Good draw, bad draw. You know? And so when all those things line up, the last thing to worry about is flavor. And so flavor is the keynote. It takes precedence over all other aspects. And if a cigar doesn't taste good, it's no good. You can have the ultimate draw, the ultimate burn, a burn that is completely cylindrical, like some scientific fucking people sitting there with torches hitting it like this, like jets, you know, like as it's going to make it perfectly round. You can do anything. You can age it for 1,000 years. You can use a wrapper, a Corona wrapper from a plant that somehow grew in the Himalayas, you know, and it's the rarest shit on earth. And you can make a cigar, and if it doesn't taste good, it's no good. It's no good. You know. The cigar last night, the Trinidad, wasn't no good. It had some good flavor. It got a decent rating, you know, as far as our rating system is concerned. But this right now, I'll tell you, when I add it up, it's probably going to come to something like something around a 7.25 or a 7.5. You know, I'm thinking in my head, but you know, out of 2, I'd give this a 1.5 flavor. You know, 1.5 out of 2, which is, you know, it's very good flavor. It really is very good flavor. It's a little rough around the edges. You know, it's a little harsh here and there. I did get a few tiny hints of ammonia, you know, from aging in the nasal passage. But if you don't blow it through your nose, you're really probably not even going to notice that. And the flavor is staying great, and I'm all the way. You know, we're into our last third. And there's no bitterness at all. Very salty right now. Salty and leathery. Some spice. Smooth. Smooth right now. Smoother at the end right now than it was in the middle. It got a little harsh for some reason. But I think this is a great cigar. So I'm going to just nub this a little bit, and we will come back with our final rating. So I just want to say, you know, thank you so far to all the viewers who have been watching the videos every time and, you know, giving all the thumbs up and comments. I really appreciate it. You know, I'm not getting as many views as I'd like right now, but, you know, with time, and you know, in all honesty, I really don't give a shit that much because, you know what, I love doing this. I really do. It's a lot of fun. It makes smoking a cigar much more interesting, you know, because I'm really paying attention to what's going on. A lot of times I smoke cigars and I read. You know, I'll smoke really good cigars, read a book, watch a movie, whatever. But there's always something else going on. And when I'm doing these reviews, my whole attention is really going to the cigar. So it is not only me helping you guys out there, I guess learn or whatever you're doing, you know, entertainment, watching my videos, whatever, for whatever reason, but it's definitely helping me learn just as much, if not more, because I'm smoking a lot of cigars that, you know, I'm changing a cigar every day. And, you know, usually these days when I find a cigar I really like, I'll stick with it for a while. Smoke a box, you know, maybe 2. Recently the Fuente Siglo came out, you know, and the Angel Share Opuses, and we're going to review some of those. But, you know, I've been smoking those a lot. I love those. They're really good. You know, and of course my Cuban cigars that I smoke all the time. So this has really been interesting for me. And if anything, when I smoke a cigar that I don't really care for, like the Edition Limitada Trinidad, I probably would never even smoked it because I know I don't really like Edition Limitadas, you know, and I don't have that much time to be smoking things I don't think I'm going to like, which I didn't. It only makes cigars like this that much better, you know. So priced at $145 a box, 25 cigars, you're looking at $6 a cigar, something like that. Not a hell of a lot. So it's good. On the nub, it gets really hot really quick because it is a little, I don't know why, maybe it's a little it seems to be a little underfilled. Signs of that, fast burning, but fast burning could always mean dry. But the thing that tells me it's not dry, well, I felt it, but the other thing that tells me is the way the ash is going. Very flaky, falling apart, you know, and so this cigar is a bit underfilled, so it's a little point there on construction off. And because it's underfilled and fast burning, it heats up fucking quick, man. I've been trying to be gentle with this cigar because I realized that, so I could get the best flavors possible, and it stayed pretty cool throughout. But nubbing this thing, it gets real hot, and all I'm really getting is a lot of leather, pepper, and wood. The sweet notes are pretty much gone. Some salt. Not even much of that anymore. I would say, at this point, this cigar is done. And there you have it, our El Triunfador No.4 Robusto 5 by 48 ring gauge cigar. Nicaraguan with an Ecuadorian Habano wrapper. Good cigar. Good little cigar. Definitely a nice cigar to have a bunch of. They burn pretty quickly. Good overall flavor. Got a lot of spice, some leather, a lot of chocolate notes, cocoa notes, woody base, some salt, and overall really good. Burns fast, very flaky ash, you know, but I still like this cigar. It does have a very nice flavor profile. I got it nubbed to about there, but man, it gets hot and peppery and spicy and at the end, so no bitterness at all, you know, and it did well overall. Cigar final rating, 7.25. Not bad at all. So you've got a 1.5 flavor, 0.75 is almost everywhere else. Complexity 0.5, it wasn't overly complex. Got a little bit hurt on the construction, 0.5, because of the definite underfilling of the cigar and this flaky ash, and the fast burn. So the burn got 0.75 instead of a 1 because it would have been a perfect burn, but it burned fast because of the construction. Anyway, that's about that. We will see you soon next time, and maybe pretty soon we'll revisit an old favorite and try to have a good smoke with my old buddy, the Triunfador Lancero, the original. Anyway, tomorrow's a Cuban day, and until then, thank you for watching the Dr. Joe Show. Keep on smoking.